Hello, everybody. I'm Yoshi Ikegami, president of Boss, talking from Japan. I'm Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing great, Yoshi-san. It is great to see you, right? My name's Jeff for everybody at home. I'm the product manager for the United States here for guitar products for Boss. And we're here with Talks with Boss. Talks with Boss is a weekly program that we do. It's an internet program that we get to talk to Yoshi Ikegami, president of the company, and get some deep inside questions answered about some of our favorite products that we all know and love. And it's just really an honor to get a deep, a look at things from the backside and from the company internally. So Yoshi, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, today we are going to talk about SY-1 guitar synthesizer. Very easy to use product, but inside is very much complicated. So I will try to explain.
Yes, there's a lot of questions about how it works and how complex it is. Yes, the SY-1, it's a polyphonic, meaning that you can play full chords guitar synthesizer that works with a standard quarter-inch cable. Obviously, Roland has been known for many years for using multi-pin pickups, the divided pickups, since the early 70s, with the GR 500 series. But in this little guy, you can use guitar or bass. It has 121 different sounds on it and some really cool, unique features, and it all performs with no latency at all. The first product we did was in 1977, which was the GR 500, and in the early 80s we came out with the SY, GR 300, and then a couple years ago we came out with the SY 300. I wanted to ask about SY series, probably starting with the SY 300. What is the concept of the series?
Yeah, of course, we are a very original company providing guitar synthesizer. So we always wanted to make some new guitar synthesizer. But, as you said, working with only regular quarter-inch cable, that is a kind of dream for regular people. Still, divided pickup has a big advantage for making a sound. But for most of the regular guitarists using regular cable, it's very easy and convenient. So we wanted to make such kind of very easy use guitar synthesizer. That is very basic concept of SY-300 we released in when I forgot 2015 April.
Mm-hmm. Right, and so you came out with the SY-300, which really is where the SY-1 comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But when you came up with that first unit, did you have any early prototypes that you were showing to anybody or anything like that to try and get some feedback?
Yes. We made a very first prototype put into GP10 kit chassis, because it's kind of like camouflage,
Yes.
And also, at that time, Pat Messini was coming to Japan for his world tour, and he is very much long-time guitar synthesizer customer. So I contacted him, and I wanted to introduce something new. So we visited his venue in Tokyo, and showed the new SY-300, looks totally GP10. And right before his concert, on the stage, he already set up all the stuff for that concert at that night. And he played over 30 minutes, and he was so much impressed. And also, most biggest point was because, of course, regular cable. That worked with the regular cable. And also, his guitar tech said, "Oh, we had a lot of trouble with the 13 pin. Part broken, a lot of 13 pin connector." So the guitar tech said, "Oh, that will be solved such kind of trouble. So he was very much happy at that time. And also we got a lot of input from him.
That's great. So at that time, you talked to him, and he was really impressed with the fact that it had a standard guitar cable, which is what I think we all, get everybody excited about, because you don't have to have a special guitar. You don't have to have a special pickup. You just plug in with a 1/4-inch cable, and you're good to go. The SY system, it generates synth sounds, like analog classic type synth sounds with a standard cable, which is totally different from the past units and synth sounds. How was that developed?
Yeah. So we are always trying to make something new type of pitch detection. Guitar synthesizers, very basic technology is how to get exact, accurate pitch information from your play, right? And that is a kind of fighting with latency and also mistracking. So GR55 type of product is using such pitch detection and something like that. So we wanted to try the other kind of technology. So some PC-based software is using FFT type of technology.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, it's a very huge process is required. So we tried to make something totally different type of technology, which is dividing frequency to chromatic. Every music is generated by chromatic, right? So please imagine old organ. Old organ that has a keyboard. Keyboard is totally chromatic, right? And also each keyboard has a tone wheel. That's oscillator. And the keyboard is just a switching oscillator sound. Then organ generated the sound. And biggest different thing organ and guitar is guitar. You guys doing some pitch change by choking or bending or something. Such kind of a very important expression of a guitar play. So just switching oscillator is like an organ, but making guitar play feel, we need to add something special technique after switching the oscillator. So that is very, very rough and basic explanation of SY-300 type of guitar synthesizer technology.
That's really interesting, because I don't know if everybody at home knows, but Roland has a long history with organ-based sounds, right? And if you kind of think of it like the tone wheels in an organ, where each key is already making a sound, and as we play, it's just letting those come through. What a really unique concept and an ability to create sound that way. And people have heard many of the PCM-based things that we've done with, like the GR55, of course, where you can get a sound. But this gives you all these classic analog sounds and some cool synth sounds and stuff like that. And it all comes from the SY-300. But SY-300, you can get in and really edit deep, high-quality sounds and make some really unique, important things. I guess integrating it into a compact pedal size, taking that 300 and putting all that in there, was a challenge. So what was the biggest challenges in putting it into a compact pedal size?
Yeah. So when we released the SY-300, we were receiving a lot of requests. One biggest request, that sounds like a little bit complaint, but people say it's very difficult to make a sound from zero. So we provided some patch set for SY-300. Then SY-300 has much flexibility. So you can create a lot of sound, but making sound process is very much difficult. So sometimes happening, you can get the good sound, but logically you cannot make good sound. So we decided to make SY-1 with much more easy to use. So, however, SY-300 has a lot of sound possibility. So, as a result, we have 121 variation of the sound. It was kind of like too much, but editing function is a little bit difficult for regular people. And our target customers, compact pedal customers, are much more, easy playing people. They don't want to tweak much sound. So we decided to equip 121 variation of the sound.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. As you said, a guitar player may look at this product and they've got an infinite amount of sounds and it's very easy to get to. You can do that and so much more from the SY-300, but it's complex if you're never come from a synthesis background, right? So for some guitar players, it seems a little bit scary at first. So this is really a great way to get into that. And we're finding many customers and guitar players and bass players, are trying out and working with the SY-1 for a little while, and they're like, you know what, I want a little bit more, and stepping up to the SY-300. But if they are getting the SY-1, because it's such a fun product and it's fun for everybody, which is awesome, could you tell us some tips maybe that somebody might want to try with the SY-1?
Yeah. So as I explained, this basic technology is watching the signal divided by chromatic, right? So sometimes if you play same note on different strings, that is very difficult to recognize for SY-1, even SY-300, so different sound. And also the watching chromatic wind, beside also a close note energy is a little bit, affect to the other one. So separation between closer note is kind of weak point. So if you want to play such a complicated chord, I recommend to use SY-1000. That has a divided pickup. So each strings only one note you can play, right? So that has no such kind of problem. And also, this SY-300 technology is just watching such kind of wind. So if your guitar sound has a lot of harmonics, like if you use bridge pickup, that's include a lot of harmonic sound, right? Then SY-300, SY-1 generate such kind of harmonic sound. You understand?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yes, because like a lot of people don't realize, like when you look at the neck pickup on your guitar, it tends to pick up the root note that you're playing a lot more, and that gives it a real clear signal to work off of.
Yes.
But on the bridge pickup, it's like the third harmonic, and it tends to focus on some other harmonics. So it will track better, which is hard to say because it tracks so amazing in either position.
Yeah.
But so, if you're trying to do some complex
if you
stuff,
want to get the soft tone from the synth sound, you should use bridge neck pickup, and also a little bit down the tone, if possible. That reduces harmonic tone and provide a much stronger fundamental tone.
Mhm.
So that is very
Right.
important.
I think that's a great tip. If anybody's having any issues with tracking or they want to make sure that they can play those really more complex chords, it'll be easier for it to track if it's on the neck pickup. Additionally, it works for bass as well. Is there any other usages that you might recommend, besides that neck pickup?
What do you mean, neck pickup or the other topic?
Yeah,
Like a
the other topic.
function? Oh, yeah. SY-1 has a send return jack. So if you want to use with some distortion pedal for solo play, that is you can blend the sound, and also that has a sound hold function. So you can hold synth sound as a backing sound. Then you can play the guitar solo. This is kind of useful, right?
Oh, it's extremely useful. A lot of guitar players, we sell looper pedals, which are amazing for super fun, right? But what's also fun about this is you can, as you play, strum a chord, press and hold it, and as you hold, now you can play over top of it, which is amazing. And that first function, the send and return, like sometimes I'll use an SY-1 in front of a slightly distorted amp, which I really like for like bass sounds because it gets, takes that bass sound and then creates harmonics from being distorted. But sometimes you want the pure synth sound out of here, and using the loop function allows me to put a distortion pedal in it. Is there any other cool functions on it that people might not be aware of?
Yeah. Also, SY-1 has an expression pedal and control input, so you can make a pitch bend, a tap temp, or also tone or rate, volume control. You can possible.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing because you can use an expression pedal, like say like the EV30 pedal, which we make, right? And you can control the parameters on it for your depth and rate and stuff like that. It'll even control speed for the sequence sounds. But if you just put in a tap tempo switch in it, you can, because on it there are 11 different modes, and the modes are anything from solo lead synth sounds to pad sounds to bass sounds to like great organ Leslie sounds, but there's also the last 3 positions here are these awesome sequence bass sounds. So you get those classic analog synth things. So you can put tap tempo on there so you can keep those in time with you as you play.
Yeah.
And while you're using that function, you can also press and hold.
One more thing, I'm forgetting to tell. This has bass mode. So not only for guitarists, bass can use SY-1. SY-1 is accepting for guitar use low A2 to high E6. So that means maybe A2 is enough for heavy metal guy.
Yes, if you wanted to do like drop D or drop C tuning,
of course.
C to T. Yeah. And I don't know if everybody realizes, because it's just regular 1/4 inch and you do not need a divided pickup on it, you can do alt tuning. So if you wanted to do dad-gad tuning, open E tuning, or like that, it'll just track just fine. If it hears a pitch, it sounds great. For myself, I've actually used in a recording in like a Pro Tools things where I'll take like a bass sound that's already recorded or a vocal sound or any sound, and I'll run it through it just to get cool sounds out of it, which is great. This technology, you mentioned that like you have like the GR1 SY-1000, which is its newer, bigger brother. What makes this different than its SY-1000 brother is that the new one actually has divided pickup in it, so it can do alt tunings really easily, drop tunings, not chasing it from your guitar, but make your guitar go to those tunings. In addition, it can do like not PCM sounds, but like guitar modeling and other cool stuff.
So why we made a SY-1000 is mainly Pat Messini asked us he is always using very complicated code, So he said, oh, why I have such a distortion sound from closer tone or something. So divided pickup solves everything. So SY-1000 provide a much more clear and beautiful sound.
Yeah, right. It can do a little bit more detailed, but for the everyday guitar player, the bass player, we've seen the SY-300 really strongly adapted by bass player community, which has been amazing. SY-1 makes it synth sounds accessible to any guitar player at an affordable price, and there's so many of them, so many great sounds. Oh, by the way, I want to say hello and thanks to Patrick, who said he loves his SY-1 and his SY-B5. Right, coming from Roland for many years, we've got many products and synth products and many fans of our synth products. But for me, I think it's been rather cool that where from early days, GR500 and GR300 and GR700, right? It was always a multi-pin cable, and this has really brought synthesis down to every guitar player and made it really easy to get into.
Yeah.
Right.
So probably that started with 24-pin cable, such kind of big one, right?
Yes. Well, GR500, it looked like a Les Paul style guitar, but those were pretty heavy, weren't they?
Yeah, I know. That has a magnetic for keeping the string vibration.
Yeah, so it had a big pickup in it, which I used to look at pictures of those, and I'm wondering, what is this huge humbucker in there, right? But it's actually a magnetic reverberation. Yeah. So that would do infinite sustain, like a Sustainiac that you could find on some guitars today. Which, by the way, I have a guitar that has a Sustainiac on it, and it works amazing with these. So like guitar players like Joe Satriani and Steve Vai, they use a Sustainiac pickup or Ebos sometimes, right? And it'll track like that and just give you infinite sustain, which is great. Although you can do it just by pressing the button, which is so fun. I think the biggest thing for me is I love this so much, and there's so many great sounds. I just need to put 4 of them on my board so I can, almost have presets, right?
Yes. So we are getting very much good reputation in the market. So I'm so sorry, everybody's waiting for the 1 unit. We are trying to ship much more quantity, and our original plan was we already catch up such kind of back order situation, but still we are getting new orders. So we are working hard to catching up.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. When the product came out, we got a tremendous amount of back orders right away. It oversold our estimations. You and the team in manufacturing were great at trying to ramp up the amount of units that we're making. But the more you make, the more people order. So if you're at home and you're waiting to get your SY-1, don't worry, it's coming, right? Yoshi and the team have been doing great work to try and catch up with those. So, as I said, it's just an incredible pedal to have on your board. And, as far as things come out, most of the time we make a great pedal, right? Boss makes great distortion pedals, effects pedals, and things like that. And they're great colors, but this will really take you to new mental places as a guitar player, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm really excited about that. Well, if there's no other questions, Yoshi, I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for being here as always, and inviting me on to talks with Boss. I hope everybody at home has enjoyed the conversation on this. I'm sure we could have gone a little bit more in depth on how it works, but the explanation that you gave on how it works like tone wheels inside, I think will help people understand what it does. For those of you at home, if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them in the box in Facebook, and we'll try and answer them when we can. And next Talks with Boss will be next week, September 9th at 7:30 in the UK time, 11:30 p.m. LA time, where I'm at. And Yoshi, what do you think we should be talking about next week for the theme?
Yeah, how about talk about acoustic singer series? Right now, in
Oh,
the stay-home situation, everybody is playing acoustic guitar. But with acoustic singer amplifier, maybe you can find another possibility.
yes. Well, and I'm so excited that we're going to talk about acoustic singer because one, soon people will be playing out again. We're looking forward to that day, and acoustic singer amps are great for it. But it's also just really great for artists and performers. Acoustic singers, the live and the pro, they have a built-in looper function, they have built-in vocal harmony, built-in effects. So they're really a great way to augment your acoustic guitar. So even if you are sitting at home alone, you can do more than just sit there with your acoustic guitar. And not to mention the fact that you can plug a really fun pedal like an SY-1 into your acoustic singer amp, which you can't do with a standalone acoustic guitar. So that's really great. So yes, we're really looking forward to that. We have 3 amplifiers in the acoustic singer line, a long history of making great acoustic amps with you and the team. So I'm really looking forward just to being able to talk to everybody out there and talk about acoustic singer amplifiers. We'll post as an announcement on Facebook towards next week. So until then, Yoshi, thank you so much for your time and explanation, and just an awesome talk with you as usual. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you, everybody. See you soon.